gentlemen. All right, mulligans up. It looks like we have Plunder versus that burn deck we were just talking about.
Is this what we were talking about?
I guess it's yeah, that was the one I was just talking about. I don't know if it's
you were
burn.
just talking about Lulu Ari, but
no, well, I was comparing Lulu Ari to this Lulu deck, okay? Give me a break.
If I had to classify this deck, I think I'd call it a Yordle and Arms deck, which doesn't feel exactly right, but neither does calling it burn.
No, burn doesn't feel right either. But it's aggressive.
Kwoth's got quite the hand here.
Oh, yeah. The question is, do you just play one of these Jagged Butchers, or do you wait until a turn where you can get them all down?
You just wait until turn 3, then make it rain and just slap down 3 Jagged Butcher?
Yeah. Well, we're not going to go turn 1 Jagged Butcher, so there's that.
Ooh, Parlay.
Yeah, Parlay, great pickup. We could make it rain and Parlay here, but then we don't have triggers for the Jagged Butchers. Yeah. Oh.
I'm not super surprised by that, right? Because one of your Jagged Butchers, regardless of whether it is a 2-2 or a 3-3, is just running into this 3-2.
Yeah, yep.
So I don't hate playing it here and saying, hey, you're not allowed to block with that.
Yeah.
This also floats enough mana that we could like make it rain, double Butcher, finish off the 3-2 with a Parlay next turn.
All right, yep. And we are going to get the Parlay here. Yeah, I was actually kind of expecting to make it rain Parlay to finish off the 3-2, but looks like we're going to go this route. This does it keeps open. Wait, okay, yeah, all right, now we're going to play that. I was like, wait a second, we got the trigger now, right? Now this leaves open to make it rain for next turn.
Certainly an awkward hand from Kwoth, especially the way things are going, where if you did use Make It Rain and Parlay on this turn, you're expending nearly all of your Plunder triggers on the same turn that you have the attack token. But because you are against a Fizz deck, I feel like you kind of want to take Make It Rain value where you can get it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because now Fizz being on field basically shuts off Make It Rain. And now look at this would be a great Make It Rain, usually, unless there's a Fizz on board. Feels wow, that's just wow. Talk about really just like pushing it in your opponent's face, like ha ha, you have Make It Rain and now you can't play it. That stinks. Yeah, and we're even gonna buff up the Fizz. Go in for the elusive attack. Yeah, things are looking rough now for Kwoth, and I got to agree that the first starting hand was very, very awkward. I mean, it's starting to be okay. I mean, it's doing what Plunder does, but still no Gangplank. You know, no Sejuani. If we're not able to find a Gangplank quick, I mean, Deriva might be able to close things out pretty quickly here.
I don't mind what Kwoth is going for here, because pretty much all of Deriva's spells cost 2 mana. You are opening yourself up to be able to make it rain with this play.
Yep.
It is a little unfortunate that a Pokey Stick is what's countering it, because sometimes you'll take Aim at a Fizz just to trade spells with your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a self-replacing spell like Pokey Stick, it doesn't feel as good.
And he got the Fizz, too. There's a potential that Deriva could have still kept the Fizz there with that additional Zonai Urchin on board, but not able to do so. And Yordle Grifter could potentially come down next turn as well, which is going to be a really big boy to deal with on the side of Kwoth right now.
Ooh, and a nice Dreadway top deck. Still a ways away from playing that, but nice to have something secured for the late game. A little bit of insurance.
I think you're pretty happy to see that for Kwoth, right? I mean, that's always the one thing I feel like you're worried about at this point in the game. Like, if you hit turn 5, you still haven't found Gangplank, and you're running out of cards, you're like, all right, where's what this deck does? I need it. Where are you?
Where are my 5 champions I'm supposed to be drawing?
Yeah, exactly. And at least if you have a Dreadway, you're like, all right, I just have to live like 3 more turns. We're fine.
Yeah, which with the aggression that Deriva is putting out, which is pretty minimal, I feel like you're going to feel like you're in a pretty good spot. But this Lecturing Yordle is really going to do a number on the defenses of Kwoth, going to be able to take away that Yordle Squire and then push through a decent amount of damage. I think Kwoth's definitely living to turn 8.
Yeah.
But with Deriva having the attack token on 8, that does make it a little sketchy, because this Dreadway does not just win you the game, right?
we do have the tiny shield that we grab from the Squire, so if the Yordle Grifter comes down, then we could tiny shield up.
Because I'm not the only one that calls it Yordle Grifter every now and then.
Oh, did I just call it Yordle? It's the same
Yeah.
thing. Grifter, whatever. It's the same. No
Yordle isn't even the first word of this card.
it's a Yordle. That's all that matters, all right?
Oh, all Yordles are the same, huh? That's rich.
You know what? I'm just gonna call it Yordle Grifter because I just want to. Is that a problem?
Yeah, that's the name of a different card. It'd be like if we called Yordle Explorer Yordle Smith. It's a problem because that's a different card.
Oh man.
You can give nicknames; they just can't already be taken by somebody else in the game.
Well, we'll see if the tiny shield gets played. Which I mean, we don't have anything else to play, so and it is. So this gives that tiny shield is a big deal because now this just gives way better blocks to Kwoth to at least survive a little bit longer. Yeah, if we do keep the Crackshot Corsair, I mean it dies anyways to the darts. So yep, I like throwing it under the bus here. We can always send the darts at face if we want. Do you ever not attack with the Boom Baboon to try to force, like, I don't know, maybe the Crackshot Corsair trying to get kept on board, or exactly what's happening here?
You could have challenged the Crackshot Corsair with the Flame Chompers if you really wanted to keep it around to have that target for your poison darts.
And I feel like that might have been the better option here. I don't know what else. I mean, maybe if we're just thinking we're going to swing the following turn with the Flame Choppers to pull something to the right. Well,
maybe saving it for the Yordles and Arms, but like it's going down to 1 health if you challenge the Crackshot Corsair with it. Maybe trying to just force the blocker out of your opponent rather than pushing damage.
Well, yeah, the thing with Yordles and Arms too, like we don't have any other units right now.
Yeah, we don't really have a board at the moment, but Kwoth doesn't have a play at the moment either. And I think what Deriva's trying to figure out right now is what is that card in Kwoth's hand that they feel like they can't play it right now.
Well, it's got, I mean, you have to assume it's a Dreadway, right? If it's a champion, it would have been down last turn. I mean,
unless it's Sejuani.
And that's not a good top deck right now.
It's actually a pretty poor top deck, I might say.
Yeah, wow. That actually might just lose the game. Yeah.
Deriva getting a second Yordles and Arms, Kwoth getting 2 back-to-back warning shots, and one of the main reasons that people criticize Plunder. You want to talk about how bad it is to top deck 1 drops late in the game, Dizzle? Let's talk about 0 drops.
0 drops that do nothing, essentially.
0 mana cards, broken. Shouldn't exist. Shouldn't sprint them. Stop doing it. 0 mana cards you can main deck. Now, those are pretty piss poor.
Well, now we have Fizz online for Yordle and Arms as well, which means we'll guarantee a Fizz strike here. We'll guarantee a Dart generation, and if that's the case, that means we have lethal thanks to the Get Exciteds in hand. I don't know why I pluralize hands there, but there we go. Yordle and Arms. Fizz also leveling. And I do think that is going to lock it down here for Deriva in the top 4 of the OLS. Wow, geez. This Lecturing Yordle is actually killing the Dreadway, too. Oh, man. Did not expect to see that
today. A bit of a missed attack sequence there from Deriva. Not that it really matters.
Yeah.
And now just we're just 1 Get Excited cast away from the end of the game.
We're just going to play the warning shots to
just show them what you had.
Show how bad our last couple of top decks were.
I don't know what kind of read you had on my 3 cards, but it probably wasn't double warning shots.
It wasn't that. I vote we use the Poison Dart and then pray that they top deck a Shroom. Like,
You're BM.
We gotta go that route.
Shouldn't be allowed to play video games.
Yeah, that's what my mom told me, too.
Too much Halo's done this to you, huh? Come back and just rude.
Yeah, too many tea bags in my day, man. it's a nightmare that I have now. Oh, man. All right. About to head into game 2 here now. Deriva up 1 game on Kwoth. See what we got for the second game of the match.
Yordle Rally.
Yordle Rally versus Plunder. Have we seen
Nope.
this enough to figure out kind of who's got the advantage here? I feel like I actually haven't seen this as much as I thought I would.
Like a fair amount of matchups, kind of comes down to if you can level Sejuani, because Deriva's not going to answer that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we saw this earlier, and I had actually made the comment too, because what had happened is the Yordle rally deck pre turn 6 or turn 5 even, you need to try to close things out. And if it doesn't, then like you said, Sejuani comes down and now everything just gets frostbitten at every turn. It doesn't really matter. So
Yeah. My assumption is that baseline Yordle rally is going to be a little bit favored because you really can't do anything about the establishment of the Yordle Explorer and all these other things. It's really just Monster Harpoon, but
mm-hmm.
Monster Harpooning a 2-drop, even at a reduced cost, is
Pretty bad.
not great.
Yeah, pretty bad, because that means you're also using resources to trigger the plunder effect too. So.
Yeah, and Deriva's got sort of the miracle curve here, and the Explorer into the Mayor, into Captain, then we've got Poppy, plus another Yordle to play. Things are looking very, very good for Deriva.
This is literally Demacia when the game first released. I cannot help but just, especially hearing you say the words, this is the perfect curve, like that is Demacia in a nutshell. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. You play a bunch of stuff to the board and you win the game. Like that's
funny enough, we have played 0 Demacia cards thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the kill onto the Mayor. This is what I don't really understand.
Yeah.
I think that Yordle Explorer is 10 times more important than Mayor.
Oh, I
because
agree.
A majority of the main deck here for Deriva is just Bandle City cards.
Yeah.
We have Poppy, and we have whatever we grabbed off the Mayor as our reduced cost cards to put down. So, like, now Captain comes down, we're out of removal, Poppy gets to come down, we're in a rough spot.
All right. Down to 16 here for Deriva. We got Captain. Yep, Captain going to get buffed. Captain also going to buff anything else that comes down. And this is that's the combo you're concerned about, right? And that's why, like you mentioned, I agree 100%. You get rid of the Explorer, because once Explorer Captain is on, all right, now everything you summon is +2/+2. Oh, look, there's a wild Teemo. We could even go Teemo into Poppy. Teemo's a 3/3. Poppy's Poppy. And now, wow, that's a lot of damage coming in. Like, that's exactly what you don't want to happen as the Plunder player and as anybody going up against a Yordle rally deck.
It's about to be 2 6/6s on board. And if Kwoth goes for... Okay, I was going to say, if Kwoth goes for, like, a parlay plus...
Wow.
Not Ping City, Pokey Stick onto the Explorer, it's going to get blown out by Ranger's Resolve.
Yeah. Well, hey, look at that. We have a blocker for the Teemo. There's something.
Awesome. Here comes...
Great.
20 damage. It's actually only 16.
Yeah, so nuts.
Only 16.
So
from here, I don't think Kwoth can come back. I think we're too far behind on Plunder procs to get Sejuani into a reasonable situation. Yeah, we're only at 2 out of 5. Gonna warning shot here.
This will be 3. I mean, not necessarily. If we can top deck a Sejuani in the next couple of turns, maybe there's hope. But that's what it's going to come down to. I mean, we mentioned at the beginning of this game, if it's Sejuani. If you can't frostbite their board, then you're just going to take all this damage to the face, and then that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, my bigger concern was that I'm pretty sure Deriva kills you on the open attack turn 7.
Yeah.
So you would have needed to draw Sejuani now, but then you wouldn't have had the mana to level it and have an effect for it on the following turn.
None of those seem fantastic, but yeah, Flame Spitter, I guess, is you want to try to go for lethal like you mentioned next turn, so Flame Spitter makes sense. This does manage to hit Teemo, and now Ranger's Resolve makes this do nothing. Literally nothing.
Yep, and the other Make It Rain isn't going to be effective because you're going to play it after Poppy buffs everything on the open.
My God, look at this board.
This is what everybody was worried about.
Yeah, yep. This is insane. This is turn 7 open attack with this board is redonkulous.
Teemo's a 5/5.
Wow. Elusive. That is
and it gets
insane.
to the point where, like, we even get to go into combat with all of our buffers. Like, the things that usually need to sit in the backline as units are now big enough to just risk their lives in the glorious battle. So we are going to survive here, though. It is only going to be
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 with the Flame Spitter.
Yep, but no Sejuani on the side of Kwoth does mean that a comeback is not super likely. We'll see what Gangplank can get done here, because that will deal 2 damage to the entire board, and Ranger's Resolve is gone for Deriva.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. I mean, and like, listen, if Kwoth could somehow make it to the turn where we can play Field of Rush, things might be looking up, right? Problem is, I don't think there's a world where that's happening, but, you know, who knows? Let's see if Sejuani comes off top. Yeah. That is not... Man, this is where you do not want to be seeing your Make It Rains, let me tell you.
Is it ever Augmented Experimenter here?
To do what?
Draw 3 playable cards and get rid of all these terrible ones?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't think you're really worried about discarding your hand to find better cards right now. I mean,
looks like we're just going to secure the Poppy level up.
Wow. And the fact that Poppy's leveling up too is nuts. It's a little overkill if you ask me.
Just gonna tick down the time here on the side of Kwoth, trying to decide if they want to line up some Make It Rain parlay stuff, if we really want to get off. I mean, that's really all you're thinking about, right? You've already gotten your Plunder proc for the turn, your Gangplank level up progression, all that good stuff, because you did have a Monkey Idol that died. Or a Powder Monkey, rather. Gonna see what a Make It Rain does, and the answer, more or less, is a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, well, did we already get the proc for that turn?
Yeah, the Powder Monkey died, like I just said right before you opened your mouth.
So I'm not sure. Then why did we even bother playing the Make It Rain? That literally makes
it
no
almost
sense.
feels like Kwoth played that for more time to think.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Maybe we were trying to hit the Teemo and finish it off with a parlay.
Yeah.
Gonna parlay the Nexus now. Get our proc to level the Gangplank, which is at present threatening to clear out 3 of these units on the side of Deriva.
Yeah, I mean, and does a lot of damage.
Well, it was, but there is a Ranger's Resolve top deck from Deriva, which I think is going to just hard secure this game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a way Kwoth actually just does enough damage, though. I mean, what was that? That's 2 something with 3 health blocks. If it has tough, it's basically 2 damage. It's only 4 damage total. Make It Rain's 5, 6 with Crack Shot, 7, 8. No, there's an elusive. So, yeah, I don't think there's a way or a world where Kwoth can top deck like additional damage just to burn down Deriva before Deriva just goes in for another attack next turn. I mean, maybe we have another chump blocker. The Monkey Idol is going to throw out another Powder Monkey. Do we actually have enough chump blockers next turn to survive until Field of Rush?
There's 2 elusives and Poppy levels.
Oh, yeah, there's 2 elusives, yep. Well, are we?
Poppy levels.
You're just like Poppy levels. That's it.
There's we checked off the 2 elusive thing, but Poppy still levels.
Poppy levels.
And that's enough. You're at 4. You can't Make It Rain your own units. That wasn't one of the cards that was changed. 2 more Bandle Commandos are coming down.
Yeah, the 2 more elusives definitely is.
Yeah,
is way
X
too
out
much.
the 2 elusives, 3 elusives.
Yeah, 3.
Everything's going to be outside of Make It Rain range because we are going to attack with Poppy, and that's going to level and buff everything.
I will say, so close. You know, we don't get to see this animation much. I like this animation. We were so close to making it to Field of Rush, right? Like, there was actually a pot, like, we almost made it, but man, that board is, holy wow, that's a big board. And Deriva taking that game 2-0 quick over Kwoth.